Recently, multilingual disciplinary literacies have been studied a lot, and it has two elements, no? The multilingual element and the disciplinary literacy element. So I think that all of us more or less understand what multilingual is. So it is understanding and using more than one language. And nowadays we live in a really multilingual and multicultural world, and our classrooms are very multilingual and very multicultural. So we need to foster all of the languages at school, because it's not more about English or about Basque or about Spanish, but we need to use all of the languages for schooling. And on the other hand, we have the disciplinary literacy part. Literacy until now has been understood as learning to read, to write, but it is more about that. It is about the language that students use when they are talking about disciplines or when they are talking about school content. When they're talking about history, about science, about maths, they need to use some kind of language. So multilingual disciplinary literacies brings that together. The academic language that we need to use in disciplines, and also the multiple languages that students need to foster. Societies are also multilingual per se. And I believe, and we believe, that the Basque Country is one of those societies in which we have a minoritized language that is not the first language of most of the students. So this creates a challenge, because most students study through a second language, which is also at the same time a minoritized language. So it is something that is very complex and very difficult, but we believe this creates a very interesting opportunity to understand how learners in a second language in immersion contexts acquire Basque, Spanish, English. So we need to include different ways in which the past, for example, is worked on in the history, or when students are making connections between two different elements in philosophy, we need to talk about how to make that connection. So we believe that the first step will be for teachers to be aware of the role of language in all of the subjects. I believe that often we as teachers, we are in an English subject, so we will be just talking in English. In the Spanish subject, we will be just talking in Spanish. But we need to make these connections, no? If we say students, you know how to structure a text in Spanish, or you know how to write a letter in Basque. So the structure of the letter is very similar in Basque and Spanish and English. But students sometimes do not see it, no? We need to make them aware of, maybe you don't know these specific words in English, but you know what to say and you can find other ways. So I believe those three aspects are important. Teacher awareness, student awareness, and then designing with the role of language in mind.